Welcome everybody to Trending with Suyo. Every week we'll have an interesting member of the community come and share thoughts on their career, passion, and lives. These individuals will give you a rare perspective on the challenges but best moments of their chosen paths. My hope is that these conversations will help inspire you to find your true calling. So join me and see what you learn. All right, guys, I have an amazing person here with me today. She's one of my favorite people. She has beaten my face so many times, but not that type of beating. I'm talking about makeup beating. She's a very talented makeup artist and here to tell you more on the insights of beauty and makeup and her journey. Here she is, Sammy Lee Beauty.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi Sammy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Happy to have you sitting here with me today.
Yes, me too. It was an early morning for the both of us.
Yes, it was. I'm sure you're used to that though.
Yeah, I'm used to it. But thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So Sammy, I know the Sammy now and I know the Sammy then. So let's rewind a little bit so that the viewers can get to know you a little bit better, okay? So I know that you professionally started to do makeup at the age of 19.
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know what I was doing at the age of 19 and you have your everything ready, good to go. So how did you get into makeup? Like I know makeup's really popular now, but you know, a few years ago when you first started, it wasn't really like blooming. So how did you get into makeup?
Yeah. So I think firstly, I just had a creative background. I always loved painting. I always loved playing with makeup for myself. And I kind of just got into this forceful habit of beauty really young. And I think I was known for that going to school and growing up, like in middle school and high school. It was like always like, oh, you know, you're the girl who always wore so much makeup and you look like you're going to prom every day. And you know, there's a reason, because whenever now people see me doing something, they understand, right? So I think that comes from, if you have a passion for something, it's gonna follow you from birth, right? Like if you love dancing, if you love singing, you're just gonna keep going. And that's how I started. Okay.
And Sammy, like, you know, coming from an Asian background, how did your family support the makeup industry? Because I know it's more accepting now, but you know, 10 plus years ago when you first started, like, how did that whole conversation go?
Okay, well, it's still a thing that, you know, Asian parents don't accept these kind of professional careers, right? And I am half white too, so my mom and her side, it was a little bit challenging, of course, telling my grandparents that I wanted to be first an artist, right? My grandma, she didn't like it. She completely blown it off. You know, respectfully, they have very high professional careers. And 11 years ago, that was what they knew was going to put a roof over my head and things like that. So to tell them that I wanted to do something in the artistic field, it was a lot of stress for them. And I feel like they just didn't see it. And I didn't see it either. But at the same time, I still knew that it was my passion. It's something that I just wanted to do. I didn't know how it was going to work, especially with no support. It's just something where I'm like, no, I have to. So I did end up going to school for them. I went for business in cosmetic management. So I was able to do that. They were like, okay, you know what? Like, you did school. Can you do something in business? I want to start my own business. You know, no, do something, work for someone. You know, that was always the dinner table conversation. Like, so let's just forget about your, you know, passion, your idea. Let's talk about something that is real. But it felt really real to me. So, you know, it was a little bit of a secret, you know, of doing makeup. And I would always like tell my friends like, oh, can you come and like I do your makeup? And, you know, it was one of those. So, you know, fast forward a couple years and they were more accepting to it because I just wouldn't budge. I wouldn't, you know, it's either I'm going to be homeless or I'm going to do what I want. So, you know, when they accepted it, they were also really on my side. It was like all or nothing type of thing for them. So, you know, once I got their support and they were able to build me my first studio at 19, it was really like, that's when my career took flight, right? And not everyone has that support where they're going to have that ability to take flight, but you have to, I think from my story is that you have to just stick with what you feels right. And no matter who supports you or not, support yourself. Because with or without my family, I was going to make it happen.
Right. I'm glad you didn't budge. We're happy that you didn't budge.
And trust me, like, Asian families, any strong cultural family who, they worked really hard to get where they are now and for their family. It is a little bit disappointing at that time to hear like, I don't really want to do it your way.
The typical way, yeah.
So I think that is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur, right? Yeah. Like you have to go through the mud and people don't see you until you reach the hill, right? People don't believe you until you get successful.
Yeah.
That is kind of how it was with my family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're probably like, well, look, we're happy she did it.
They're happy now. Yeah, they're happy now. So, Good for you. And I think I paved the way for even my siblings, my younger siblings, because as soon as even my little sister said to them, oh, I want to be a lash tech, it was, oh my God, let me build you a studio. Let me support you right off the bat,
Yeah, so she needs you.
So they understood, they understood after,
Yeah. So, Sammy, like now when someone wants to start their business, I feel like it's so much easier in a way, like to advertise themselves. They have social media to help them. But when you started like 10 plus years ago, there was no real social media, nothing to help. So how did you advertise yourself? How did you find clients?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I did was I would wear my own work on my face and I would go to the malls full face glam, 9 a.m., whatever it is, with all the old walking people, right? I would be there before my 8 a.m. class and I would just, make conversation with people, try to show my face to the community as much as I could. I would, I would even put posters on Fairview Mall walls in the girls' washroom and it would get taken down and I got calls from security, hey, don't post your stuff here. But it was just like, I was so not determined, but I was determined, right, to make it. So I would do that. And a lot of times when people saw my face, they would come up to me and say like, oh, did Mac do your face? Did Sephora do your face? And I would say, no, I did my face, right? And I would have my business card ready. I was like really the walking advertisement of that, decade. So, it wasn't like Instagram was there. Facebook was very like bridal only. There was no, let me get my makeup done for my date. Now it's, let me get my makeup done so I can meet this guy for the first time. And people are just getting their makeup done just for the heck of it. It's changed so much. The evolution of the industry is so much easier now. That's why I tell so many young entrepreneurs who want to become hair and makeup artists, do it right now. Because people want to book anything and anyone now.
What do you think the biggest misconceptions when it comes to makeup is and how do you address that in your daily work?
I think if you're talking about the stat behind it, people want to become hair and makeup artists or, things of influence to gain popularity and become rich, right? So we're not rich. Well, you know what I mean? And we're far from A-list celebrities. So I feel like that is a lot of the hype going around hair and makeup, artists, right? That, we start and we want to make fast money and we want to become famous and have lots of followers and things like that. It's really not that glorifying, right? When you start, you are dead broke. You have to invest in your kit. You have to invest in the time, Some people do have 9-to-5 jobs and they don't have that extra time to spare on collabs and things like that. So, I think that is...
What do you, and I know for makeup artists, hairstylists and everything, COVID was such a challenging time. Your business got shut down and you guys were one of the last people to even open up because you guys work so closely with clients. So how did COVID affect you and your business?
So, at 19, my first take off, when I actually started seeing some sort of, stability was when I started with Playboy. Right. And Playboy got me into a lot of international doors, like doing NBA Wives, doing WWE models, a lot of influencers from all over the world started to book me, and it started to grow really quickly. And then Narcity, they shouted me out as top makeup artist, and then overnight it was like just emails were flooding, right? So, and that was when I was like turning 21. So I was still relatively super young. I was still in college. So I feel like that is pretty much how I.
So like for COVID time though, like you had to shut everything down, and going from like such a top makeup artist to fully closing everything down. How did that go?
And if I get like scrambled, track me back, okay? Because I can talk a lot. So it's the Gemini in me. So so going from this like high of being very successful to also very young and successful, you don't have a financial advisor, you don't have an accountant, you don't have any real people behind you telling you where to put your money. And all my money went to shopping, it went to vacations, it went to all these things, and no one ever told me how to be responsible. So that's the great thing. But then during downfalls like COVID, or anytime someone has a downfall in their business, whether it be they have an accident, they go through COVID, something happens to them, they need to be able to have thought about this way back when to pass those moments. I wasn't one of those people. During COVID, like it left me so broke. Like I went from being so feeling rich to feeling like, oh my God, like I just bought my dream car. I'm in this massive house by myself. I don't know how to put my food now on my table because the world is telling me I can't work. And I didn't have the means and the people that I needed on my team that I have now to tell me, hey, like you need to put X, Y, and Z in all these places. You need to think about your future. Right. So I think that's what comes with young entrepreneurs. We need to have smart people on our team to tell us, not all of us have parents that will say how to build your credit, how to save money, what to invest in. You really need to, if you want to start a business, have a good foundation, right? So COVID, it was tough. And like I had to discount my rates heavily and get my lessons.
I remember you started to do lessons at that time.
Yeah. So I was always teaching for 8 years, hair and makeup. And at that time, everyone is at home waiting for something to happen. I discounted it like, I think $125 or $150. And I was doing 2 lessons per day. For, I think like 7 or 8 months. Right. So it was enough money to, get back up and running, or just even pay my high bills at the time. So that's how I did it. I just discounted my services and I just kept it moving, and I was exhausted, honestly.
Well, I was going to say, like, you did mention some of the top collabs that you did with Playboy magazine and the WWE artists and everything. I remember coming to you to get my hair done. I would think I was going to host an event, and I come to you all the time, but this specific time when I first came, I remember like seeing all of these like posters and magazine covers on your wall, and I'm thinking, wow, like look at this girl, and you know what I thought about at that time? I was like, she is so humble. Like that's my favorite thing, and I admire about you, Sammy, is because there are a lot of people that are good in what they do, but you still need to be humble, and you're so grounded, and that's what keeps us coming back to you, so I want to thank you for that.
No, I really appreciate you saying that. Like honestly, for me, I never want to, I can't come across arrogant because I've hurt so bad when it came to my business. Like, in 11 years, if you don't fall on your face and pick yourself up a million times, you are not going to be that person behind your business who literally will like do anything, right? So there's nothing to like be arrogant about, you know, like I know what it's like to try to find $10 in the drawer, and I know what it's like to not think about the money walking into malls, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's definitely a learning curve. I feel like it is the characteristic of an entrepreneur that you have to go through to be a good entrepreneur, right? So, and those were a lot of mistakes that I made in my beginning years, and I'm still going to make a lot of mistakes, and my growth is never going to stop. So growing is just growing pains, right? You have to go through it.
Well, speaking about growing, Sammy's not only a solo artist anymore. You have trained makeup artists under your wing, and you've created a team with your best friend called SLJ, right? So tell us about what that means for like your bookings.
Okay, so basically thinking 10 steps forward now into my future, and having all of the, you know, delegating tasks to all the professionals. I'll leave myself to hair and makeup, right? And so I have a team of 11 artists. I have a couple of trainees, and I have a collective operational team behind me who runs the business for all of these artists to basically work for us, but also gain experience as individual artists so that they can grow and they can nourish their business, because, you know, we know that they're not going to be with us forever. They're going to be great. They're going to be better than us. And this is just to give other artists kind of opportunities that we're missing out on. So there's a lot of bookings now that we're so busy.
I know.
You know, every single day I'm saying to at least 20 people, hey, sorry, I'm fully booked. Hey, sorry, you know, whatever. And I kind of just thought to myself, like, why do I keep on saying I'm fully booked? Like, what can I do to actually get those clients to be serviced, you know, with me, with not me doing it, right? So then me and my best friend, we started SLJ collectively together because we have reach all over GTA. She has different clientele than me. I'm more like the East End, she's more the West End, and together we can, you know, our surface is larger, right? And with a, you know, some people think we're crazy because, you know, having 15, let's just say, artists under our belt is a lot. But we still feel like it's not enough. We need like always more and more, because the industry is just growing so rapidly that
everyone wants
we're
their
really
makeup
proud of
done,
them too,
and there's so many events. So for sure,
that humbled me on another level too. Like when we had a hiring event, right? Sometimes you plateau in your entrepreneurial business, and you're just like, you know, am I good? Am I doing enough? Am I like, you know, what's going on? But then when we had the hiring event and we had 24 artists lined up, we're like, what the hell? You want to work for me? Like, I don't even get that, right? So, you know, it was an eye opener to me that we're doing something right, you know, and we're happy to keep on doing these things. So, you know, for me, when I get married, have kids, whatever the case is, I don't have to overwork myself. And we can also give people opportunity to be the growing artists that we, you know, we were once too. Right? So we're kind of that support, we're kind of that sisterhood that it's like, hey, like we do have the funds, we do have the traffic. Let's kind of open up your creative ability in a more comfortable way, so you don't have to struggle. So
it's amazing.
But you know, it's not always like the easiest thing. Like you have to really, it was a lot of work, preparation. I am very, you know, blood, sweat, and tears into my own business. There's no way that I'm just gonna have artists under my wing that I don't know. I literally have, you know, I teach them weekly, right? Like on Zoom, I dedicate my time. There's a lot of, I don't want the extra money. It's not about that. I really just want my name in every single room until I'm dead, you know? So it's like that.
That's amazing, Sammy. And it will. You are an amazing person, and you care so much, and that will come back to you in every way.
If I get too passionate, you can like tell me to chill, because
no, never. Another thing I wanted to ask is, if somebody is just starting, like the basics, like what would you tell them? Like, how do you start makeup? Like, what are the tools that they need to get started?
Well, the first thing you need to do is find the people who are doing what you want to be and start learning from them and learn from them fast. If they are teaching, get a lesson with them. Start investing in their lessons. Start putting your post notifications on their Instagram. See what they're doing daily and start almost copying, but have your own flair in it. Because to be honest, everyone copies everyone, but we put our own twist to it so that people can fall in love with you and not the copycat version of what they already follow, right? And then it will help you to know how to get yourself going and get the wheels turning. But definitely invest in hair courses, makeup lessons, whatever it is, because that's how you're going to start, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sammy. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on Trending with Suyo and sharing your journey with us and all the stuff that you're going to do. I want to wish you all the best and to your team as well. Is there anything that you want to say to our viewers today?
Well, I hope everyone learned a little bit about this. And, for me, it really is just a big group of support. Anytime that you have that passion in you, and let's just say you don't have the support of other people, just support yourself. Like, be your own best friend, be your own teddy bear, and sometimes just go through the growing pains, because I promise you, if you stop, you will never get there. If you don't give up, you are closer to getting where you want to be.
Thank you so much, Sammy. And make sure you guys go and follow Sammy if you aren't already, Sammy Lee Beauty. And of course, her team as well, SLJ.
SLJ Beauty.
SLJ Beauty is Sammy Lee Beauty. And we'll see you next time on a great episode on Trending with Suyo, where you can find more stories to help inspire you to find your true calling. Bye.